Hi, Stephen. It's just the two of us, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and practice our observational skills, working on colors with this particular image. And there will be a bit of remote viewing language in here. So, but really, anybody who wants to learn to observe their environment better can benefit from these little exercises. And you do have some remote viewing background, is that correct?
Yeah, I have been researching it.
Researching it.
Yeah, and I have been I've been talking. I went on to Lyn Buchanan talk room. But what Dan normally does, but there hasn't been.
Okay.
There had been that room had been open for long because of Dan's illness. He had eye problems for some time. That's why I kept asking about Dan.
I thought you must have been on Pal Talk with some of Dan's target of the week or some of his sensory exercises. He's been away for a little bit. He's going to start those up again. So this image was donated for our use today from Steve Arene, and he does quite a bit of world traveling. So you and I can just look at it a little bit, and since we can only be here for about a half an hour, we'll just do whatever we want, because when you do these exercises, they're just for you to play. As much time or as little time as you want to put into them, because you can really probably never, ever finish one. So if we just look at this image, we can do a general discussion, like an overall impression of the entire scene, like and conceptually, like, and that's on down here too. And I think this is what we get. So, what do you think this looks like is going on here? What might this be? Because I don't know for sure. It looks to me like it might be some kind of a market. There is someone reaching for a cup. There looks like there are cups in some of the stacks of whether it's beans or corn. Almost looks like cranberries. But it looks to me like somebody is reaching for a cup in the middle there to measure it. And there are several of these sacks or bags. And again, it almost looks like granary or types of beans or corn. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe paint. No, not paint. It's just a colour. Yeah, it looks like a market of some kind.
Like, I'm just going to type that in here. Look. Ooh, I think I should choose a different color other than yellow. And I'm sorry, the font is so big that I guess it'll work. So we think it looks like a market. And there's a person with, looks like they're about to measure something. And this is the first time this is another adventure in WebEx too, as far as the typing goes. So I had thought we could save this for everybody. So maybe when it comes out, and maybe I should just hit enter instead and see what happens. Let's start for the recording. That might come in handy. And then again, maybe we need to use the eraser tool. There we go. Adventures in WebEx. All right, looks like a market. And person measuring something. Looks like beans or grain. And see, we have, just in general, several bags or sacks. Everything looks to be dried. What else are you seeing?
I'm seeing that somebody is helping them sell or market store holder. So they're taking the item to sell. Yeah. Look like either an African or Indian market.
I can see that after you play with WebEx, it changes up on you just a little bit. So now it's going to be overlapping. So since we can only do this for about a half an hour yet, because we both have to go, let's look at some of the colors, because that's what this exercise is for. Like the red. Let's name some red. Okay, let's name some red.
Yeah, blue, yeah.
Like there's, I can think of cranberry, that's the color of red. And there's, and I have to scroll, so I don't know if that's gonna, there's cranberry red and Christmas red. And let's see what else. Maroon, wine. This name red doesn't have to look like the color up there. There's maroon and wine.
Bright red.
Bright red?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right, so let's move on to, I don't know if you can see, I'll practice doing the pointer thing. Right there. We'll work on that one. Well, we don't want that. And we're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Start messing with the tools. That looks black and white and speckly. And what else can we say about that one? I'm not enlarging it. So let's see if I can make that pointer go away.
Yeah.
All right, so what else can we say about the speckly ones, other than they look speckly? All right, first we need to say that we've changed our focus. We were looking at the red ones, and we didn't say that they had a cup sitting in there. We'll add that. There's a cup sitting in the red container. And by the way, what does that container look like it's made of? Yeah, okay, let's go back to with this thing. And then if I have to scroll, it's going to affect the typing. So what does that look like? Does that look like a basket to you? Some of these look like canvas bags.
I think it's canvas bags from the sort.
You think the red one is too, or you think that looks different? It's darker in color. You can't really tell if it's a bag, if it might be burlap, bag or sack,
Yeah.
or a basket, or this brown. All right. Now let's go to the speckly one next to it. So moving to the speckly one to the right of the red. If you were in a remote viewing session, this would be very important. Moving to the speckly to the right of the red. Now we'll describe. And again, it looks speckled. Speckled. And what color do you think? That I can't enlarge mine, so do you think that looks like gray or black or purple?
I would say gray.
Gray and shades of gray and white, maybe? White. And let's see what else. Maybe for future talks like this, I'll make notes and add them to the document. Then it doesn't make the recording. Let's see. And all of them are turned down, so it's like they're tied shut at some point for maybe transport. So other than that, it looks dried, but we already covered that. A little bit of green in there too, green tones. And then let's move to the one to the right of it.
Looks orange to me.
Moving to the orange to the right of the speckle. And now we'll describe that. All right, so we've got, what kind of shades of orange can you think of? Like there's tangerine orange. That's a shade. What else? About to find out if this is going to let me type down where I can't see too. There's tangerine. And actually squash colored. And it almost looks like it's powdery. Kind of odd. I wonder what those circles are. And the color of the orange is actually up on the rim of the bag. The other ones aren't. Makes me wonder if it's powdery. See if this thing's going to let us type much more.
Yes. It looks powdery to me.
Powdery. Or dried because it's on the rim. And I think the whiteboard space is on. Yep. Well, that's okay. We're learning something about the system tonight too. And the audio will always be here. So I'll just scroll back up to the picture and leave it there since we learned about that. So I still can't figure out what those round circular things are. I wonder if they might be, I'm just purely guessing, might be some sort of a cake or something made of that ingredient. I have no clue. But color-wise, it's almost kind of a squash color too. It's an orangey, squashy color. Can you think of any other colors of orange?
Not really at the moment.
Okay. There's sunset orange. So some people might think that. It's a stretch, I know. But when you're trying to figure out something, sometimes if you're in a session viewing, your subconscious is just trying to give you something that you know that you can associate with from a past experience, like a sunset. And so, that would possibly be a thought. Then up in the middle, we've got some purpley going on, another bag of purpley, which, in the Philippines, I remember a friend of mine brought some, it was like a sponge cake, and it was this color. But it's a lavender color. It's not really fuchsia. So there's lavender, and actually it looks like the front of my house. Not really a deep purple. And we have some red stuff here. Yeah, go ahead.
No, they're not deep purple. There's a darker purple in front of it at the top.
Right. Eggplant is a color of purple. This is when we could cheat and have a thesaurus open. We could be looking up this stuff. But eggplant is a color, purple grape. That would be a shade of purple. I think, what kind of are there gems? Amethyst? That would be a color of purple. Gotta stretch your head on this stuff.
Yes.
Everything from shoes to gems, trying to figure out different shades of purple. What else is purple? Black eyes are purple sometimes, fading bruises, but okay. Then we have, looks like some dried corn, possibly. So we can talk about shades of yellow. Got lemon yellow, trying to think what other shades of yellow we have. Golden yellow. You can always cheat, do the light, light, dark. Amber, that would be a dark shade of yellow.
Yes.
Some yellows are very bright. When you start getting into the white, some people would say ecru, I believe, would have yellow tones, but that's starting to get into, different people see different shades. There's not too much green here, but for instance, I know somebody who calls green in one of my rooms a sage green. Somebody else calls a battleship gray. I'm like, where do you get that? But they see that green as gray. And there is a bright green up there. Looks like some kind of, almost looks like Brussels sprouts. So there's lime green and lemon green and this would have been, camera, you're sitting out there. Let me give you a mic. Let me make you, we're killing ourselves here. Hey, we are killing ourselves, and am I glad to see you. Hey, Tamara. There you are. Do you need a mic check? Africa. Oh, she's been typing. I've been so busy staring at the picture. African violet, lavender, burnt orange,
Also red, gray. Oh, you've been here for a while, and I've been so busy staring at this picture. Yep, burlap cotton. We noticed the bags look different, too. Do you have a mic, Tamara? Steven and I got his system configured. We were in here for a while with WebEx support. So now his mic's working, and it will continue to work. So we can do that for you, too, at some point. And I've got a template that I can mail around to some folks who have had trouble. And no, I don't hear you. Did you go, here we go, Steven. Did you go to communicate and do the audio setup wizard? Yeah, I did. I know. I switched you over to panelist, and then I gave you a mic. No, we didn't change anything. And I've given you privileges. Oh, well, I know. This is crazy. I'm beginning to think that the only thing is when you do the audio setup wizard, and I plugged my headset in, it has you, a prompt comes up, and you check whether or not you're having speakers or mics. So anyway, we were on, I think, the yellow, and I was saying there's golden yellow, lemon yellow. What other shades of yellow can we come up with? Oops, baby crap yellow, mustard yellow. I said amber. All right, who can cheat and bring up their source? And then, oh, we were on green too. When I almost asked you to leave, but to go out and come back in. And
your audio wizard does not work if you're in the conference.
which doesn't work if you're in the conference?
Your audio wizard.
Right, you have to do the leave conference to get that to work, don't you?
Yes.
I wonder if that's what's down in the corner on the right. It's little and square, and it's got some kind of edgy stuff on it. Oh, there's camera. You know, this time, there was a mic by her name. When you first come in, does it ask you to ask for a mic? Do you remember?
Not when I first came in, I had to put my hand up.
Camera. Oh, I need to do my catch mic thing. T squared. Oh, she's got her hand up. I've passed you a mic. Can you hear me now? Okay, Tamara, if you will go up to communicate on the top toolbar, it will drop down, it will say leave conference. If you click on that, but you won't actually leave, then the audio setup wizard is going to come up.
I got another question about another seminar by coming up. To the one that Lyn's doing, they seem to be at 9 o'clock Eastern. Is there any way those ones can be brought forward slightly earlier?
As in 7 or 8, or earlier than that?
Well, 7 or 8 Eastern will be okay.
Yeah, because it's so late for you guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I can try doing some of those, and we can see how it goes. A lot of times I've been trying to, when I don't work on Saturdays, setting up some on Saturday. All right, Tamara, hello, how are you? I've passed you a mic and holding my breath. And there is also a link that is in there. Let me copy paste it because I'm going to investigate this and send it around to some folks. I don't know if you can scroll back up from when you weren't here. It will help you configure your system. Nope, it won't let me. But I've emailed it to myself, and I'm going to, I think, send that around with WebEx's number because you can call them and they can help you configure your system just the way Stephen did, and you don't have to do it when you're in here with us. You can do it whenever you want. So this is what you have to do is do the leave conference, then the audio setup wizard, and it goes through and tells you about choosing your mic or your speakers. And getting your system configured. Another thing is the Verify Rich Media Player. If you go under the Help menu, the Rich Media Player is the drop-down one at the bottom. And sometimes you need to do that. But that's in the emails that you can do that before you ever come in here the first time. And after that, you don't have to do it again. But I do think I'm going to gather up some email addresses and send this out along with WebEx's number. Let's see. Back up. We've done some reds and some purples. We were working on yellows and greens. There's chartreuse green and lime green. What are some other greens? Forest green, evergreen. Grass green. Pine green.
Yeah.
practice green. I think I said chartreuse.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That light green I can see between their lady's arm by the red.
Olive green, that's another shade.
Yeah.
Alright. Camera was here, but she gets stubborn. I hope she keeps trying, because she will conquer this thing. And then we have some shades of pink. The lady, I'm guessing it's a lady. There's somebody with, I'm seeing just a little bit of a left arm with pink sleeves and a right arm with a pink sleeve. And there's light pink, and there's what we call Pepto-Bismol pink. I don't know if you ever are around Pepto-Bismol over there in the UK. There's rose and fuchsia. Alright, camera is here again. Now when she came in, I saw a mic beside her name. I'm going to hang on just a second to see if she does something that asks for mic. She'll be able to troubleshoot this thing. Or if the mic only appears after I make her a panel. No test yet. I haven't made her a panel. Alright, go ahead and test now, Tamara. I've made you a panelist, I've given you a mic, and I've unmuted you. Okay. I will email you. I mean, there might be someday we have a really decent presentation in here that you might want to hear. I'm going to email you WebEx's number, okay? They're very helpful. And, right, and it did work last conference. I don't know. The integrated VoIP is on. If you go to communicate, go down to integrated VoIP. There's volume control shift. That's another one. And that is a mystery. Why it worked last, yeah, I don't know, it worked last time and it's not working now. But anyway, we were talking about some pink, since the lady up there is wearing pink clothing. And there's rose and Pepto-Bismol pink and light pink, baby pink, any other suggestions on pinks? one good way to learn that is to go to a paint store, and you can do this online, is if you're weak in colors, and they have all kinds of shades. And it's not going to make or break your remote viewing session if you don't have a designated word other than pink. You can say light pink, dark pink, or rose, or fuchsia. But it just kind of broadens your vocabulary as well as your sense of colors.
Me now. Oh my gosh.
What did you do?
I was just speaking and I forgot I was supposed to hit control. So sorry. All that for I just didn't hit the control button. I was just talking. Sorry.
That's okay. Control button where? Because I never see that on my screen, and I could tell people that. Where is it?
Well, down at the bottom of the screen it says press control to speak. Oh wait, let me stop speaking to read what it says. Hold on.
Oh, because see, my screen never says that.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if it said it before, and I missed. It's real tiny. Anyway, that was the secret, so it's working.
Well, nothing like a learning curve, but that's okay. We shall persevere. So, after all that, would you like to contribute anything to this conversation? It's been Stephen and I just kind of racking our brains. I was really wishing I could have cheated and had the source out.
Unfortunately, when I was trying to, in the text and trying to get the mic to work, it was cool, but then just before I started working, my dogs have started barking, so I probably should just keep my mic quiet. And
oh, no, that's fine, because actually mine...
And I'll use the text and just listen.
Oh, actually, no, please. I want these get-togethers to be just us getting together, you know? It's fine. We're just regular people hanging out, and we have dogs, and we have phones ringing, and, life happens. If there are huge things like that, and we start getting feedback, that's another story. I mean, that's just, if your kids come home and you have to talk to them, that's common courtesy, but it's okay. I'd rather hang out with everybody and just be real, It's not choreographed. Some days that's not good. We'll do our best. But anyway, we've actually been here for an hour and 37 minutes and really haven't done a whole lot of color description. So, do you have anything else that you would like to contribute? Because we, as well, we're also test driving the ability to type in here, and it's very limited. So much for that. But, anything you want to throw in there with colors?
Sure. First of all, I don't know if you remember or know, I'm not at all a visual person, which makes remote viewing kind of funny for me. And my discernment and vocabulary for colors is pretty limited, but I was typing in there trying to say burgundy when we were over at that left, burnt orange, I don't know if it was sunburst or sunset orange, but that burnt right around those rings. And I said gray, and the textures. I was feeling some cotton and some burlap, like not all the same textures. And I'm like kind of a 7-color person. Oh, and I said violet, lavender. I actually started smelling those. So that color, reminded me of like African violets, so I started smelling. And cranberry, like that. And that's about all I recall of I came in a bit late, but that's what I remember.
M-A-I-Z-E. another color of yellow. And you notice there's one of the bags. It looks like a bag. It's yellow in color. And then on the left-hand side, that looks like more of a bowl. It looks like there's corn in a bowl over there. Compared to on the right, it's a rectangular surface. Makes me wonder if maybe somebody has if that's a measuring or a weighing device over there.
Reminded me, and then maybe because I said African violet, that reminded me of how the Lao, like if you go into a Buddhist spot, there will be a big bowl, there'll be a big serving thing like that, but then there'll be to portion things out, and you know, people have their own baskets. Actually, they use baskets, which these are kind of baskets, but they're cloth instead of the kind of Lao use. Anyway, but it's different things in each one, which kind of goes along with that. But yeah, the bowl, that definitely looks like a wooden bowl to me.
Me too. And like I said, I wonder if they're measuring and weighing off to the right. And then it looks to me, look at down in the right corner, we've got, it looks like the top of a moccasin or a shoe. Got a pattern down there. It's got yellow on the edge with some red lines, some green in there, and blue. That looks like somebody's shoe, like they might be standing there. But Steve Vereen visits all these places when he travels the world, so it's hard to say what you're going to find. And some of the burlap bags, or some of the cloth bags that look like cotton, have the stripes. I see some pink stripes and some blue. I don't know what that is at the top on the right. It almost looks like plantain bananas. It's got color, but it's not. I can't figure out what that is.
I can't fathom shoe being near food either. That's most of the world over. That's just totally taboo. So I can't see that as a shoe. I guess that would. That's why we don't use the nouns and like that. Yeah, unfathomable to me that someone would put a shoe near food.
But the thing is, this is like an open-air market. Have you seen that video lately of the train that's passing through, I think it's India? And there are awnings on poles, and some of the food's actually sitting on the track. So these containers, bags and bowls, they're on the ground. And so people are walking up and passing by.
That I'm used to with the Lao people. I was pushing the wrong buttons. I don't know if you heard any of what I was saying about the Lao, but the food on the ground, yeah, no problem seeing that. I just see that more as like some kind of shell, maybe some kind of tool to clean off a utensil, or you know what I mean, with the scrape it off, you know, a scraper of some sort. I just don't see shoe there, but who knows?
What do you think those? I'm curious. What do you think those circular cake-looking things are in the middle of the orange? To me, if you look at the orange up on the rim of the bag, it looks really powdery. So I'm wondering what those cakey things are. And they almost look like a swirl pattern, like a cinnamon roll looks swirly, you know? Looks like a swirl in the middle there. I'm wondering what those are.
Well, given the whole context of all of it, with the scoopers and all of them, I would tend to see them as scoopers that have the orange over top, you know, like maybe that's a finer, more powdery textured substance in there that is easily over the top, whereas the others heavier grains, and so the scoopers are more sticking up out of them because of the weight differential. That's how I see it.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, because they're actually, it looks just like cups, you know. They've got cups in a lot of different ones, but not every one. Well, it's been a bit of a wandering thing here.
Now I'd really like to eat some plantains since you brought it up. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. We need to make some eggplant parmesan. All right. Well, it is 9:45 my time, and poor Stephen is in the UK, and it's the middle of the night for him. So I think we're probably going to need to wrap this up, such as it is. Meager offering, but anyway, we're stretching our heads a little bit.
I want to thank you both. I have another meeting in 10 minutes anyway, so I apologize for being late. And Stephen, have a good night's sleep.
Yes, yes. Another question I got last reader. You know the lady told me the presentation a couple of days ago. Are you going to put that up on the recordings?
Oh yeah, I probably should, even though it's not a very good offering, but it would have been, we had 8 or 9 people scheduled to come. If everybody would have come, you know, we could have been throwing out ideas, and I thought maybe people didn't come because they hadn't done any session work, so therefore they didn't want to come in empty-handed. So I can revise those invitations for this kind of stuff. So, hey, it's just all verbal. You don't have to do the homework. It's okay. So, anyway.
The question was about presentation by a couple of weeks ago on Saturday, a lady.
Oh, now I know what you meant. I thought you meant this one. You mean Dominique?
Yes. My audio broke down in the middle of her presentation.
It was her presentation, and she chose not to have me post that. It is recorded, and I have it, and she has it. And there's a short one I can actually email to you that
Somebody else just found on YouTube, because she presented the same topic at a scientific assembly in June. So there's a little bit of a presentation with that, and I'll email it to you. But you know, I don't have any control if folks don't want to post their stuff. And Steve and I will try my best to have some earlier ones. We used to get them together at 9 p.m. to catch both sides of the U.S. And that, I know that leaves the UK in the lurch. So I was trying for some Saturdays to capture the UK folks, make it easier for them. So I'll see what I can do, and we do have some at 8 p.m. instead of 9, just because of you guys, and I know it's just bad. All the time zones.
I don't mind coming UK time. We can be accommodating, I mean, at least some of us. So just so you know, I'll stay up in the middle of the night instead of them always doing it for us, you know.
No, I feel so bad. The only thing is I have to work the next day. So that's the bad part.
As do lots of people that work daytimes. So maybe weekends the best time to do it all together. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then they got to work in the day over there too. So, but yeah, you got to be alert. So.
And then it's everybody's day off. They don't want to give up a day off. So the thing is, Lyn has asked, and so without anybody telling us, you know, a date or a time, we're just always shooting in the dark. So anyway, we will do our best to try and flex it up some. Okay? But I think we probably ought to get going for tonight. And Stephen, I'm sorry that you're losing sleep, but at least we have your audio configured, and I think you're going to become a regular, so that's important.
Is Lyn doing a presentation tomorrow, did you say?
Yeah, but not on here. It's someplace near his hometown. He's speaking to some school kids tomorrow.
Okay.
So anyway,
okay.
well, yeah.
Kids, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
You're welcome. And anytime you want to see anything that is scheduled here, you can just go to aiis.webex.com and click on all meetings, and it'll bring up the entire schedule. Okay?
Ma'am, you have a good day tomorrow, Teresa and Stephen.
Yep, I'm gonna need to go, and Stephen, I hope you get a little sleep. Okay? And we'll see you next time.
I think I got something booked for next week as well with you.
Okay.